Hey, hello, everyone out there in YouTube world. Duran here. Another little off the cuff. Happy 2020, first of all. I was thinking about a lot of different things. This is unscripted, that's what we do off the cuff. But something that I wanted to share today, in particular, is just how much can change in the blink of an eye. How much can change over a period of time. All of the subtle things that are different from when you grew up to the way things are now. Traveling along Cedar Street. This is one of the main drags out here in Lansing, Michigan, capital city of the state of Michigan. You can see an old dealership called University Motor Mall. Pretty much all they do now is sell fireworks when the time comes. Got a bank that's been robbed probably 50 times. A Finley's restaurant that's no longer there, but a corporate chain like Panera can grab that real estate and move in. Pizza Hut barely hanging on. No, Pizza Hut actually gone. Wow. Never even knew that. Got a liquor store. You'll be seeing a lot of those along the way here. This is an intersection where just in the last 2 weeks, there were some young children under the age of 7 who were actually hit trying to cross this road. You can see it's a pretty busy intersection. But this is where my early beginnings began. I grew up a couple tenths of a mile away from here. Edgewood Boulevard, old apartments. They're still there, but the experience for a resident there is quite different than it was than when I grew up. Now it's just kind of like an extension of, the hood parts of Greater Lansing, extending into the south side. Farmer Jack used to be there. Builder Square used to be there. Now it's a church. Thank God for that. It's one of the rare cases where such a large footprint of real estate along this busy drag has been able to survive and have any type of new life breathed into it. That Taco Bell's been there as long as I've lived. You can always find a Speedway along the way. BK. I think they were on life support for a period of time, but they're back. Right along here is the entry point to what used to be a Kmart. That's no longer in business. Recently read that Kmart only has one more storefront remaining in the entire state of Michigan. I remember a few years ago I actually drove down there and got some recliners down in Marshall, Michigan. But again, you can just see for every little plaza, every little corporate chain, there's probably 2 additional spots of vacancies. Things that just don't have great looking curb appeal, or, Family Dollar, that's closed. Used to be a Rite Aid. There used to be a Clark gas station right here. Now it's just, kind of a rental type of place, it looks like. But things have just changed, and what's trending now is happening through the changes in legislation, legalizing of marijuana. So you see a lot of pot dispensaries, hydroponic types of places, hookah types of places. All of these places that will, I suppose, dull your senses for a period of time. I know you may not be able to see this in the shot, but I'm coming up on where House of Ink used to stand. That was a family chain that's been around as long as I've been living. I think they closed up probably here in the last 18 months. But there's one of the many hookah lounges that are around the city now. So it seems to me, if you're in business to sell vices like beer, wine, and liquor, you're selling the hookah, you're selling the lamps and the bulbs that's required to, grow your own greenery and things like that, then you have a license to operate and unfortunately prosper in this town that's becoming pretty desolate. I hate to use that phrase. I am a man of faith, and I hope in time I can find the faith required to speak life over this place that I grew up, that I've called home. However, in this period of time, it's a sad reminder of all the mom and pop shops, all of the little restaurants, neighborhood places you could go have just closed up. They've been demoed, or they've been passed over for something like, I was saying, hookah lounges, dispensaries, and then just corporate chains, which are often able to thrive, feast or famine, profits or recession. I don't know what your city might look like, but I would imagine that it's gone through a series of changes as well. Not too far from here is another shopping center. They call it Frandor, and that Frandor shopping center is no longer going to have a Sears Roebuck in operation anymore. All the Craftsman tools, you can't get them there now. They're selling out the fixtures of the store. It's going to be gone forever now. Just like the Kmart that I mentioned earlier. Just like the Finley's restaurant that I mentioned earlier. House of Ing, gone. You got vacant schools. There's just a lot of changes that's been taking place. And yeah, partially because of how, consumers purchase their goods and buy their services now. You can do a lot of that online. But also because, tax breaks. Let's not kid ourselves to say that, if you're a corporate chain like Applebee's or Panera, you're not getting, major tax breaks in order to open up your shop and run your business. Also because they have culture and customs that are, collaborative with the way that, the powers that be want to see the society change and morph and transition into. They want to see globalism. They want to see, the ways that commerce is done with user-friendly, chip reader, e-cards, and, digital currency. Mom and pops. You go into some of them, you'll see that they can't even afford to have a debit card do your purchase unless it's a minimum of $5 or more, because there's a cost attached with running their business just to collect the currency, to do that exchange for the goods and the services. So, somebody who's already got, a large corporate and global footprint, it's able to make those adjustments and integrate themselves into our communities, into our societies a lot more easily than anyone else, even if they've been established for a generation. It's sad to see a lot of the changes that's taking place, because for everything that's new, well, oftentimes that means something else must pass away. And we're definitely seeing that around Lansing. What often thrives around here is people connected to the auto industry. You got suppliers, you got the manufacturers, all of the outlets that are connected to, doing business that way. You got the state government, a lot of bureaucracy and paper pushers that, take up space in cubicles and, parking spaces in overpriced parking garages. You also got the university, MSU, not too far from here. But, the roads, they're not getting any smoother in a lot of places. And, the blight that you see in neighborhoods, it's going through a small period of renaissance, but for some the change isn't coming quick enough. So let me know in the comments what you think about this commentary, if you've noticed these changes as well, or if you're just so caught up in the rush and minutia of life, running kids off to school, doing a full-time job or a part-time job, or, just caught up in the hustle of everyday living in order to even notice how drastically quick these changes have been taking place. All right. God bless you all. Talk to you later. Happy 2020. Bye-bye.